everyone, and welcome back to Academy Futurae. Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Alright, so, this is a big one today.
Yeah.
Where we last left off, after everyone managed to get a long rest in, the party finally confronted the Hydra proper. There is no real way to sneak in or anything. It was just kick the door in and kick its
Censor.
ass. And as you guys were fighting it,
Censor.
as you guys were fighting it, it was pretty shifty. It actually tried to drown you all. And it would have drowned you all, if not for one, Curtiz's clutch water breathing, which lasts for 24 fucking hours.
Yeah.
And two, the magic of Lysander's sword, something that Traylon hasn't even seen since the off-camera prologues. The magic in his sword finally awoken again and had shoved the water basically to the side, almost like reality warping it. It was that fast. And everyone plummeted down to the ground, but including the Hydra. And you all took advantage of the days to finally end the Hydra once and for all. But your victory was short-lived because you had to run away from the water that was still being held up. But, thankfully speaking, you didn't get harmed in the aftermath. After Traylon got to get some looting and skinning in.
I got an eye.
Yeah, you ended up getting a giant eye. You finally made your way back to Hyatt's villa as night was starting to set.
You're welcome,
When
by
I-
the way.
When Hyatt had met you all at the front door, he was immediately concerned about your health. But as soon as you told him what was happening, another person met you. A water genasi wearing the Academy colors also came out. A woman by the name of Aisha, who was a former member of the water genasi tribe. He told her what happened, and they both basically ugly cried it out together. And after everything that happened, he had decided to set up a spontaneous night party in order to celebrate the death of this Hydra that has been holing itself in the cave for about the last 2 years. But in the middle of all this, Aisha had come, waiting for you to come back, letting you know that Alice Penderson's whereabouts had finally been narrowed down within a 10-mile radius. But of course, she wanted to save it for after the party. And all three of you, in various different ways, got to have your own individual time. Nimbus got to help Canyon and the rest of his crew cook for the party. Saw some things that he regretfully did not want to see in the process, but he held his own. Curtis got to swim around, and Curtis managed to hold on, put a pause. Alright, you can press play on that again, as, Traylon, I forget exactly, what did you do with your free time?
I just kind of relaxed and talked with Hyatt. Kind of shoot the breeze a little bit.
Oh yeah, you did talk about it with Hyatt, and he seemed really just drained because it's, it just felt like a giant weight was lifted off of his shoulders.
Yeah, that was what was bothering him.
And eventually, at the end of the night, right before food was about to be delivered proper, Hyatt brought you all together to have a toast to fixing the family name and getting the Water Genasi back into their homes. But as you all drank, you all started to fall asleep. Curtis was the one who rolled the highest on the con save, and he got to see Hyatt basically cry his little eyes out, repeatedly apologizing and promising that he had an explanation for you guys, before Farik basically decided to spare him the misery and knock Curtis out proper. And that's where we're gonna start it. So, as you all start to wake up, you feel something soft, something comfy, something familiar. Roll a perception for me real quick.
Damn it.
14.
And Chris?
I thought Nimbus was still knocked out.
You're waking up.
All of you are waking up.
Yeah.
Right. I just thought he failed, like crit failed his Constitution saving throw, so it would take longer.
Oh, nah. You get to roll. You all get to wake up. Alright, I'll say Traylon and Nimbus both notice this. You raise your head and you feel like a similar plushy sensation. And then you realize you guys are resting on your hotel room mattresses. However, you're all in the same room, and you realize very quickly you're in a cell, but you're on your hotel room mattresses. Roll another perception real quick.
$18. Traylon's
Hey,
pissed.
Alright, yeah, Traylon, you are up and about because the last thing you remembered was basically losing control of your whole body and just collapsing to the floor.
And he
So-
knows exactly what's going down.
Yeah, so, Traylon, you immediately dart your eyes around and you realize you've been here before. In fact, you were here earlier last morning. This is the basement dungeon cells where Nibla got her equipment from. All of your mattresses are at the far end of the cell, and at the front where the bars, you see, sitting on a small chair, basically looking down at the ground, is Hyatt. He is in the cell with you.
So he's in grabbing range, is that correct?
You can run up and attempt to do whatever to him, yes.
Do I have any of my equipment on me?
All of you have none of your equipment on you.
Do I have my power glove?
No.
Damn
All of
it.
your magical items, everything. You do not have any of your martial equipment.
That was a smart move. Do I have my tinkerer's tools?
You have nothing, dude, except the
You
clothes on your
have-
back.
Yeah, nothing except the clothes on your back.
Note to self. Make a hidden compartment in your shoe heel later.
Gonna roll something for Hyatt real quick. As I get my drink out of the way. He does not notice you guys are awake yet. He is just looking down at the ground rather solemnly. In fact, roll a perception check if you wish. All right, yeah, I'll say all those pass. You notice he looks like a fucking wreck. In fact, he looks pretty sleep deprived. But he is awake.
Nimbus is gonna stand up.
I was about to...
And
Do
he's gonna
you-
walk over to him.
Are you gonna be stealthy about it?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Hyatt lifts up his head and sees you first, Nimbus. And the moment he looks towards your eyes, he immediately looks to the side.
He's still walking towards him. If he looks at him, if he can manage to look him in the face, Nimbus is going to look very disappointed. Like, not the like, I'm so unbelievably pissed at you, how could you do this? More like, he just looks like he's serious.
Yeah. As you walk over to him, eventually Hyatt speaks up and he goes, I am so sorry I had to do it like that. But if you would have me, I owe you an explanation. Can you please hear me out?
Let me just check my oath real quick, because I might want to do a thing.
Oh. Damn right you owe us an explanation, dude.
Yeah, Trillin at this point is going to stand up, and he's immediately going to start expecting the bars.
Let's see. Oath of devotion. Don't lie or cheat. Never fear to act. Compassion. Honor. Duty. Okay. Nimbus is gonna grab him. Is he wearing a shirt?
He is wearing his clothes from last night.
Okay, so he's gonna grab him by, like, the collar or the chest and bring him up to his face, like nose against his nose. Then you'd better start talking.
Yes. He stands up and puts the chair to the side. And he adjusts his shirt and he goes, first and foremost, I have no intentions of hurting any one of you. In fact, despite this circumstance, you are still honored guests of the villa. You will still have access to all of the comforts I would provide, including the food and all the beds that you've had. It's why I ordered them to bring them here.
Yeah, Curtis just kind of looks around the cell room and is like, just, yep, really feeling that guest vibe, dude. But I guess it could be worse, so...
Trillin is surprisingly quiet. How are those bars, by the way?
Mhm.
How are those bars?
So you're looking at the bars. There are generic sort of bars, but there are two guards in front of the cell with crossbows at the ready. They equally look about as sad that they have to do this, but they are standing their post.
They don't even like aim their crossbows. They just slap Traylon's hands away, just like, no, stop it. No.
Well, they lift their crossbows to aim,
Well,
but
yeah, that's fair.
they make it very clear that, like, they don't want to imprison you, but they feel they have to. Anyway, continuing with Hyatt. As for why I had to do this, I'm going to be frank with you. I know why you're really here now. I know that you're here to hunt down Alice Penderson, yes?
And what if we are?
She's
What's
one of my
the-
closest friends.
Well, isn't that just dandy? That explains
So it-
quite a bit now, doesn't it?
Why should we believe any of this? Any of the other things you have to say?
You don't have to. But all I want to know is why? Why would the Academy ever want her?
Well, let's go over the basics. She basically stormed our entire school to rescue Leopold, screw it. Trainer's just going to explain the fact that she literally summoned an entire swarm of undead to attack the school.
So basically it's sort of just like a blah 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 fade to black explanation sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He's not going to bother
Um,
hiding anything. She's straight up an international criminal.
Roll an insight check. Crutus, you roll with advantage. Or not Crutus, Nimbus, you roll with advantage.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Everybody gets advantage on this.
Still a 12.
Hey. 21.
21.
Oh
Fail
yeah.
me now.
16. Alright.
Oh yeah. Let's add in that bit about trafficking using mind control, because that's kind of important.
Alright. So, Crudez, well, everybody, first off.
Yeah.
You explain to him the story, and Hyatt's eyes, like, go immediately wide with just horror. He's just like, what? But she would never. No, this can't be right. And
Would you drop the
What?
act already?
Crudez, with that 21,
Mhm.
you know full well that he is telling the truth.
Mm. Then, yeah, in that case, he kind of lets him know that just like, dude, he's not bullshitting. He didn't know any of this.
And furthermore, if that was why you were really here, then why wasn't I told anything? Why wasn't I told anything?
Originally,
You see him sort of like put his hands to his head, sort of like almost kind of having a panic attack about this whole thing.
as far as we know, Alice was just a stranger from another land. We didn't know that you actually knew her. Regardless, you weren't supposed to be a part of this. Mostly just using you for a housing while we did our search. In fact, that was what we were going to do immediately after we finished our Hydra business.
And even then, it's like, even if, like, Crudis just kind of stops himself for a second and it's just like, dude, if you heard that the Academy sent us to do this, you'd think it would have to be for a good reason, right? I mean,
I thought you were just here to get rid of the Hydra. And you did a good job, and I am forever in your debt, but... You see him sort of like... You see him get angrier, but not in a sort of like, I want to punch something thing, so much as it's like, oh god, what else have I not been told about? And you hear him go, no. I refuse to let my friends get harmed. I refuse to let any of my friends get harmed.
We don't intend
That's-
we don't intend to harm Alice, but she is still a criminal, Hyatt.
Well then how do I know you're not lying?
You
How do I know
are the
who's
last
telling?
person that needs to be talking about who is lying and who is not lying right now. And I'm going to make it very clear right away. If I hear any more lies from your mouth, I will cut your tongue out myself, with or without my sword. And I will poke him in the chest with my claws, glaring at him.
yeah, even at that, Crudas has just kind of backed his head up a bit, just eyes wide, just like, God damn, dude.
I want you to remember that when we are talking about what your little friend got you to do while you drugged us, while you betrayed our trust, Hyatt.
Hyatt
He
is
storms off into the corner.
silent. Well, okay. Before you even attempt to go back to the corner, he puts a hand on your shoulder to get you to stop. And when you turn around, you see him snap his fingers, and a bright yellow aura basically fills the entire room. Roll Arcana. Everybody can roll it.
Damn it.
17.
Nimbus and Traylon, you get this. He had just cast Zone of Truth. And he goes, Then let it be known that I haven't lied. Go on then. Ask me. Ask me everything you just asked me right now.
Was it your idea to drug us, or was it Alice's decision?
It was mine. I panicked because I knew she was on her way over here. I got a message from her saying that she was going to visit. And I was honestly looking forward to having one of my older friends meet my newer friends. But then I overheard Aisha mention that, and I didn't know what was going on, so I panicked and I did this. But now that I know that you're here on a manhunt for her, I can't let you take her. Not at least until I find out what the hell is going on at the Academy. Someone, I need to contact your headmaster and get a straight answer to everything before I let you check out.
We don't have time for you to cross-check every reference that you have. This woman has attacked people. She's attacked our home, the home you were so proud that your friend Carol was making. And you bet your ass she'll do it again. She has made it very clear that she will stop at nothing to get what she wants, even if those things are people.
How did you end up learning Alice? Meeting Alice, in that matter? I understand that she may have a couple of connections in her own little criminal syndicate that she's been building up. You don't exactly seem like the type of person to get wound up in that nonsense.
I know nothing about what criminal empire you're talking about. Quite frankly, I didn't even know Leopold had it in him.
By the way, Leopold's dead.
Wow, dude.
Look, if we're being honest, let's just get it all up on the floor.
I mean,
Yeah, but
Zone of Truth
Pat-
is out.
Yeah, but Pac, dude, come on. I mean, I'm fine with this, but Crudez is just like, dude, come on.
Once again, you see his eyes go wide in horror. What? What happened?
Traylon will explain the situation. Our first mission that we came upon Leopold, he was in the middle of humanoid trafficking. He was using Zahagan to basically mind wipe and traffic people off to Perone. We put a stop to that and we put him into custody. However, for some strange reason, something happened to him. We have on record that no one made any contact with him. No one ever even talked to him, hardly. But something was messing with his head. But
You see his eyes sort of dart back and forth through the room to make sure that you're in the zone of truth, even though it takes up the whole, like, cell.
yeah, Traylon's not gonna bullshit. He's standing, like, right in front of him.
Like, he's basically looking for, like, anything to have a reason to not believe what you're saying, but he's not seeing it. And he is borderline having a panic attack right now.
Alice was the one who sprung him out, basically using the said army of undead. From there, we had to follow them to Perone, where we continued our hunt. With that being said, when we found him in the sewers of Perone, he was mentally not well. So much that he said, and I quote, "I'm willing to kill you and myself before ever sending us back there again."
You see him, yeah?
And in a final last-ditch effort, he killed himself to not go back into custody, allowing Alice to escape.
He looks down at the ground, utterly sort of just looks drained, even more so than when you talked with him last night. I'm sorry, but I cannot let you hurt her. I swore an oath never to take blood or let others spill their blood. I'm sorry. I can't ask you to understand, but I have to keep you here for now.
Mm-hmm. How do you know
I'm-
Alice?
Since I went to Cicello, I met her at the university. Her and the headmaster.
Wait.
That's where she met Leopold. That's where they got together.
So our headmaster knows Alice as a personal, on a personal level. Is that correct?
You see him sort of like blink, and he says, well, not personal, but if anything, I have more of a relationship with her than he does with her.
Alright, well, that's better. Would have been really weird if he knew Alice and still.
We basically just ran in the same circles. They just happened to overlap. I'm sorry. I can't ask you to understand, but I have to stick with this. I have to get answers from your headmaster. But I will get answers from her.
And there it is again. You know? It sounds more to me like this oath you took was just an excuse for you to be a coward and not face up to reality.
And on that note, as Crudas just kind of, he had his hand raised for a moment, but he's just kind of brought his hand back down and just,
He's like, oh shit.
listen. When I first came to the academy, I had this thing in my head that, like, oh yeah, we're being trained to fight and whatnot, and oh, that's cool, but I'm gonna get by without killing anybody. It'll be fine. But, and just looking at you now, I kind of connect with that a little bit, and just, it kind of reminds me that how I kind of learned the hard way that sometimes you kind of have to do things you don't want to protect the people that matter. And Hyatt, I gotta tell you, dude, I'm really sorry I have to be the one to say this, but if we do not do something to stop her, more people are going to be hurt, if not worse. And I know you don't want that. I know she means a lot to you, but we need to stop her. We don't have to hurt her if she does not want to fight us, but we need to do something. As he just kind of reaches a hand over to pat his side, just besides, we're your friends. You can trust us.
Debatable.
Speak for yourself.
He's just also motioning to the zone of truth shit and whatnot, just like, well, you know.
No, I'm still pretty pissed.
You guys are such wet blankets.
Regardless,
Yeah, regardless,
this
what Hyatt was gonna say, yeah?
Traylon was gonna say something. He says, regardless, Alice is coming here, correct?
Yes.
Alright then. More than anything, whether we catch her or not, our top priority is this. We need to know exactly what the hell she's trying to do. Why she had Leopold kidnap all those people. Who is she working for? And what's her endgame? If you really want to be a mother hen on her and giving her the benefit of the doubt, by all means, you made it clear we don't have a choice anymore. But if you can get us that information at the very least, we may be able to work something out. Also, I really want to stress the fact that you are breaking massive international laws by keeping us captive here. You realize that, right?
I know. But whatever the Academy has for me, I'll bring it to the headmaster himself. And you see him turn around, and you see him walk straight towards the bars as he melds through stone through the bars.
That is so fucking cheap.
And you hear him say, "By the way, I realized none of you got to have anything to eat from last night. There'll be breakfast coming for you in a bit." And he just walks off with the 2 guards still manning their posts.
Where are our 2 NPCs?
Hmm?
Where is Lysander and
They're in the room with you as well.
He just didn't want to break character.
Yeah.
But rest assured, they are also upset.
Alright. Traylon is going to walk over to fuck names. Lagurma.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to try and whisper to her as quietly as possible. Snake.
She immediately whispers back to you and says, "You don't gotta be subtle. I've been thinking of a way out. I just need to get Critters on this now."
He nods. And with that, I think Traylon is just going to run distraction job as he leans up on the bars. I mean, it's pretty clear he doesn't have any way of, unlocking, so they know their eyes are on him. But then he's just gonna start, gnomish rambling. It says, it's really funny considering the fact that that Hyatt was so big, had such a hard-on about not making sure that this place wasn't used as an actual prison cell yet. Here we are.
That's another
Ironic.
good point.
So, can he just phase through all bars, or just the walls? Like, is there really a purpose to having actual doors for him?
Well, he didn't. He was guided out, wasn't he?
No, he
he
melded,
actually-
like, your cell is locked. He left by melding into stone through the bars.
Oh yeah, it was Earth Genasi.
Yep.
It's a thing they get.
Yep.
And Traylon just goes on and on about the intricacies of magic and how that shouldn't work, but it does.
That's a thing they get.
I've been actually thinking about turning that into...
Genasi.
Yeah, I've actually been doing a little bit of research trying to see if I can get that into an arrow and whatnot.
We have about as much luck with that as getting a dragon scale.
I will say 10 minutes later, after you ramble these guards' ears off, eventually, 2 more guards come in. They're unarmed, but they are bringing a tray of freshly made breakfast for you guys. And when I say fresh, I mean straight out of the oven fresh.
Nimbus is just glaring at them, going into the corner.
Oh, is this one going to be poisoned too?
They don't
Ooh, maybe.
really...
Ooh,
Yeah.
better yet, maybe it'll kill us this time.
as they sort of use a latch underneath to carefully slide in the plates, I all want you to roll a perception check for me.
5.
Nim? Critis?
Chris and Will.
You know what? I'll do it because you said my name for once. My full name for once.
And Crudez. Alright, there you go. Alright, so Nimbus, you hear this because cat. That's one way to justify it, I guess. Go ahead and change music, Jesse. I'm gonna say Crudez gets on this too, because he only really needed to roll a 10.
Traylon
As they're sliding the food underneath the door, the sliding door underneath, you suddenly hear a weird ringing sound fill the air. It sounds like your ears like ringing because of like tinnitus. It's strange. You're not sure where it's coming from in the room. But as this sound is filling the air, one of the guards with a crossbow suddenly starts to breathe a little heavy and slump off to the side. He collapses, passing out. The others immediately see this and stop what they're doing to basically rush to their fellow guards' aid. Do you wish to do anything, or let this continue?
I mean, there's not much we can still really do. We're still, trapped in the cell, unless one of them just so happened to drop a key or something.
None of them have dropped a key, but... Crudez, would you like to do something with Lagurma?
I don't know. What can I do?
Lagurma, basically whispers to you and says, "Can you turn into a snake? I'll go with you if you want."
Frogs are more my thing, but sure.
Well, okay, fine. You can be a frog.
Ribbit, motherfuckers.
As you guys are getting ready to, wild shape, in the middle of your wild shape, Crudez, everybody watches as, they kneel down to this passed out guard's side, checking it's like, are you okay and whatnot. And all of a sudden, this passed out guard suddenly wakes up, and in one swift move, he whacks the other guard with a crossbow on the side of the face with the butt of the crossbow, and this knocks him out in one hit. The other two guards, who I will remind you are unarmed, they were just here to deliver your food. They attempt to run. Do you let this continue?
Something feels bad, so Traylon is going to try and, I guess, grapple the maniac guard.
Well, you can't really get a hold of him because you guys are in a cell. But, Crudez, do you wish to get out?
I mean, at this point, I'm gonna do so carefully, because, well, maniac guard over here.
As you slide through the bars, you watch as this guard, seemingly possessed, fires a crossbow bolt at one of the guards that's attempting to run away, and they shoot them in the back of the leg. He then pounces on him, and there is about a half-minute scuffle of them wrestling with each other until eventually this guard also managed to knock this guard out. He shambles back up to his feet. His walking is very wobbly as he picks up a keyring from the guard he had just knocked out from before, the other crossbow guard. He walks over to your cell, and you can really hear his breathing, like, really haggard, as he sort of just drops the keyring right in front of your cell, and then falls basically right in front of the cell door, unconscious, as he just sort of, like, slides down it, unconscious again.
Traylon immediately grabs a key and unlocks the cell.
Alright, you guys have unlocked the cell.
Alright, I pick up the crossbow.
Lysander actually speaks up, and he goes, "Wait a minute, I remember something. You remember what Nibla said, right?"
What?
He points over to the giant vault in the basement dungeon, and she says, "That's where she stored her sonar device. I think that's probably where our gear is."
Worth a shot. Regardless, let's pull these guys in here. As Traylon starts pushing the guards. Well, for one, make sure that they're alive.
Oh yeah, all three of them are alive. You do have to a little bit of tendering to one of the guards' legs that got shot attempting to escape, but all in all, they're still okay. They're just knocked out.
I'll try not to spend lay on hands if I don't have to.
Oh no, I'll just say it's like a simple bandage, really, to the wound.
Yeah, they're stabilized, so they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They just need to sleep it off.
Pretty much. Funny enough, you do end up putting them on the bed mattresses. And then Lysander sort of, like, kneels down to look at the keyring with you. There has to be one that opens this.
Do an investigation.
Sure. I'll say you get advantage because Lysander's helping you.
19.
19. You recognize one in particular because when Nibla was opening the vault yesterday to grab her sonar device, she seemed really eager to show it off to you guys, and so she was kind of putting on a little bit of a show to basically, you know, she was feeling really happy at the moment. And because of that, this one particular key sticks out.
Alright, let's try this one.
It takes a bit, because this is just to unlock the vault door itself, but you do, like, open it with a big creaking thud. And sure enough, the sonar device isn't there, because, well, she'd use it. But sure enough, your gear is inside.
Good thinking, Lysander.
Immediately going for my sword and my shield.
I'm sorry, what?
He goes for his sword and shield.
Okay. And now let me see what this message is. Alright, so everyone has gotten their gear back, so for all intents and purposes, assume you're armed again. I'm going to say, you remembered this room, and you also remember that there's really only one way out, which is up the trapdoor that leads to this dungeon in the first place.
Alright. Crudez, Lagarma. We're gonna send you in as scouts first. We don't want to risk... I don't think we'll have much time. Because these guards were supposed to deliver our food and come right back, so I'd say we have about 5 minutes before shit hits the fan.
Lagerma hisses.
Keep in your wild shape forms and try and scout out. Odds are we have an ally nearby. Our water genasi friend may be still out there. I'm guessing this was perhaps her doing.
Yeah, you don't see her in your cell with you at all. But eventually, you guys go up to the trapdoor, which is still, like, open. It's a it basically just unfurls the staircase down. Like, you know, when you go up to an attic, there's a little thing that you can pull that makes a stepladder. It basically does that. So, you go up, and you end up in one of the old break rooms, basically one of the dressing rooms, so to speak. Lagerma basically looks to Crudez and goes, hiss hiss.
God damn it, the gift. Shit. Now I don't know what we're doing here aside from just keeping watch at this point.
Check the hallways to make sure that they're clear.
Well, you're basically in, like, a cleaning room, so to speak, and the door outside would basically lead you to this main hall right here.
I am going to switch over to the in-game map now that we're actually on the main floor, so...
Yeah. Basically, it doesn't really show well because you're on the first floor, but underneath the top staircases, there are, like, rooms for, like, the faculty. You are in one of them because that's where the trapdoor is in.
Hey.
The top floor is where the actual hotel rooms are. Actually, I do have to ask Gray, the other DM here, but would other druids be able to understand each other as different animals?
Technically, it's... I mean, speak with animals works in the sense that you are speaking with another, animal.
Yeah, and you can cast spells to...
Well, not while they're...
You can basically cast... Yeah.
But essentially, you're one animal talking to another animal, so at best, it would be, like, mundane speech. Like, follow, go, attack, defend, wait.
Yeah.
Basically, I would rule it that A can only get, like, one word across.
Alright. In that case, Lagerma will look to Crudez, nod her head as well as a snake can nod its head, and basically say, follow, as it starts to slide herself towards the end of the door with a little gap underneath to basically take a peek outside.
And Krita's gonna follow.
Alright, you can't really fit well underneath because, as a frog, you're much more chonky.
Whoops.
But you do get to at least see the underside of the door and listen in on what's going on. You hear panic going on as you hear a singular man's voice basically flabbergasted explaining, what just happened in the dungeon cell?
Oh shit, I forgot there were 2 guards that came down.
Yeah, there were 2 crossbow guards, and then 2 guards came in to escort your food. The possessed guard knocked out the other crossbow guard and shot the leg of one of the others, so one did escape. But yeah, you basically hear it's like, I don't know what happened. Jerry just suddenly started kicking all of our asses.
Okay.
And I think he should. Yeah.
Okay, Frank, you need to calm down. Steve, you gotta listen to me. Well, go get Bob, okay? Human names.
Yeah, yeah, like, yeah, Curtis, you hear all that and you think, wow, human names are weird.
Yeah.
But eventually you hear a familiar voice say, escort the hotel check-ins out of the villa. But, sir, you sure escort them out of here. They don't need to be caught up in this. Right away. And sure enough, you hear the sounds of many different footsteps sort of like walk on the top floor as the order has been given.
I didn't want to have to use this. If need be, I still have one use of my dust of, what's it called? Where's my dust? Where's my dust?
Thing for... Okay. Alright, I'll say... As Lagurma hears this, you suddenly hear her let out like a... sort of like a venomous sort of hiss.
Pretty much
Just
stressing
waiting.
That, yeah. Go
No, not stressing that. But out of just like creeping anger. But she does sort of like hiss at you. It's like, yeah, they do know what's up, but also for some reason, grr.
Gonna say I thought that was her like indication to be like, yeah, we need to leave, or at least meet up with the others.
Once again, you do as you guys are sort of like heading out from the corner. You hear two different set of footsteps sort of like walk up towards the door, but they don't open it. And yeah,
Traylon is gonna make a call. He says, "All right, everyone, hold your breath." As Traylon is going to bust out the dust of disappearance once again. Alright, so...
Alright, so...
Uh-oh.
Alright, so... You guys are all invisible.
Alright, 1d4. 2 minutes.
2 minutes, alright. Well... You guys are... invisible for 2 minutes. But there still seems to be only one way out.
Alright,
And the door is not opening. In fact, roll a perception check real quick.
The guys that are still here.
Yeah, everybody, yes.
Oh, okay, we're all back.
What?
I wasn't sure if Lagurma and I were still, like...
No, all of you are still in the room.
Okay.
So yeah, all of you guys can roll perception. Alright. I'll say Kritas hears this, because I guess frog hearing, I don't know.
They have oral... Not oral, but they have membrane for that.
Yeah. Alright, so Kritas, you hear them, you hear clanging sounds on the door, but you don't... Alright, I'll wait.
Sorry, Chris had to step away for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Alright. So... Yeah, just like I mentioned before, you hear two sets of footsteps outside the door you're at, but they're not opening the door. You hear what sounds like, at first, a hammer banging on wood. But then you hear a familiar voice saying, "What are you two doing?" "Sir, we're keeping the..." "Go escort the hotel check-ins out of the villa." But sir, this is the one way out. What? "I will take care of them myself. You go escort everyone else out of here. They do not need to be involved in this." Alright. If you're sure, Mr. Hyatt. And sure enough, you hear different sounds of just wood basically clanking to the floor. You still hear the sounds of footsteps above ground, as well as, you know, in the surrounding area outside the door. But you don't hear anything else afterwards. Is there anything that you would like to do?
Well, I already used my magic item, so Alien's going to say, "Alright, everyone, I'm going to slowly open the door, and we're going to try and make our way out to the closest exit. Be as quiet as possible."
Alright.
Alright.
So,
like-
you go ahead and open.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Should I roll a stealth?
Yeah.
You should also probably conduct a marching order, considering all of us are invisible.
No need.
Okay.
Soft 20.
Is it just Charlin, or should we all roll stealth?
All of you can roll stealth, yeah.
Damn it.
Boss, please. Give me good rolls.
Oh no.
Nope.
Alright. What armor are you wearing, by the way, Nimbus?
I think it's heavy armor.
Then
I should
yeah,
have
you would have had
disadvantage.
disadvantage on stealth rolls anyway.
Let me see first. So the manta ray, this one kite shield. Yeah,
Then yeah, just the heavy armor alone would be like disadvantage on stealth. Alright. I'm going to say, as you open the door, you immediately see... Well, first off, put your tokens here. Which, your tokens are actually already on the map, so you can just click and drag them over here.
Where'd it go?
Over here.
Over where?
Off the top of the map.
Over here.
I see it. Okay.
Alright. Okay, hold zoom in on this. Okay. Alright. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Alright, so as you open the door, I'll say Traylon is the one who, like, leads.
Yes.
You see, already coming down from the staircase, all of the hotel residents being escorted in an orderly line, sort of like, basically being ordered in a line out of this area and basically out the front door. You can actually hear them saying, you know, it's like, we got plenty of activities for you in the other housing, basically the other houses of the Villa Square. Basically, and, you know, basically assuring them that everything is fine. At the front, however, you actually see, Farik, Nibla, and Hayat at the front right here. In fact, everybody can roll perception on this.
Damn it.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Traylon is in
Hey.
Splinter Cell mode.
Hey!
He's already getting another alarm arrow ready to set off a disturbance to distract everybody.
Yeah. Alright, with that natural 20. Alright, so, Traylon, you recognize this because you saw this on the very first day you got here. Hayat is wearing his old armor from the display cases.
Oh.
However, he does not have the sword. He does have the shield, but he does not have the sword. As the door opens, you hear a bit of a clank thud from Nimbus's end. And as soon as that clank thud happens, Hyatt sort of just holds up his hand as if to say, please, just wait a moment first. Farik, with the natural 20. You also look at Farik and Nibla. Nibla looks just as torn up about everything, considering the circumstances. Farik is completely stone-faced about this.
So when Hyatt held up his hand, was he directing it towards other people or towards us in specific?
Towards the door. Because Nimbus rolled a 7, he gets an idea that you're there, but he's basically asking, please, just wait for them to go out first before you do whatever it is you're trying to do. Basically, like a common gesture of just, like, I'll let you do what you're doing, just please wait a second first.
How many civilians are around here?
They are about 3/4 of the way done. Like, you can see, just, like, looking up, there is sort of, like, about 25 or 30 more people left coming down the stairs. And
Are
it would
they
take
on-
about, like, an extra minute for them to fully get escorted out.
Are they on the left or are they on both?
They're coming
staircases?
from both staircases.
Damn.
I'm going to say, you know, as everybody is coming down the stairs, they're obviously sort of confused and a little bit bewildered to see Hyatt in his armor. Nobody else knows why, but they don't really have time to question it as they're sort of just escorted out of the villa. And as soon as basically the entire villa is cleared out, eventually you hear Hyatt speak up, and he goes, I know you're there. Just... there's no need to hide. I made a promise. I will not hurt you. I refuse to hurt you. I'll say that whole intermission of waiting cut at about 1:30 of your 2 minutes. So that would be, I think, 5 rounds left.
Yep.
All 3 of them are just sort of like standing at the edge.
Would Trillin remember if there was a window upstairs?
The windows would be... Okay, so the windows, like the doors at the top, are hallways that lead to other rooms, so to speak. And those rooms would have, like, windows out of here. As for, like, on the first floor, no.
Alright. If anyone's got ideas, like above game, like ideally we want to get the hell out of here without causing a fight.
Well, I like to remind you guys, as far as you guys know, the entire villa has been cleared out, and to your knowledge, you guys are the 8 only people in the villa right now. Like, you 5 plus Nibla, Farik, and Hyatt.
Alright.
Can't think of anything else to do.
If that's the case, Traylon is going to, I guess, whisper to the others and say, upstairs.
Can everybody else still see each other while invisible?
Not really.
I was gonna say, I think we ruled that with, like, the Rat King fight, that nobody can see each other.
Oh yeah, because Hamid torched Nimbus, right?
Yeah.
However, Traylon will, like, whisper to, Lagrima and, Crudez, while they're still in their animal shapes, to, slip by, if they can.
Well, me clunking around in my armor is what made all that noise, so I think it would make more sense if I walked up to him, because he can hear me moving, and confront him myself, and then you guys can figure out another way out.
I don't recommend... Because Hyatt won't hurt you, but the other 2 probably will.
As you say that, by the way, you see... Well, Nibla is just as torn up as Hyatt is, but Farik is stone-faced, and you actually see him, like, his ear twitch as you take one step. Like, the first step from before, not from when you're, like, approaching him. And you see him do that thing earlier where he, like, does a motion with his sleeve to, like, pull out the hand crossbow from underneath his sleeve. And Hyatt immediately, like, slaps him on the wrist. It's like, no, we are not doing that. And Farik just sort of says, it's like, I am under orders to make sure that they stay and under house arrest. If they are going to attempt to escape like this, I have to use this force. I don't care what you have to do. I am not going to hurt them. And that is an order.
All right. I guess
I think they know we're here. I think the jig is just up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, Traylon, at this point, well, there's not exactly much we can really do unless we want to kill another 30 seconds.
Nibis stands in front of the party and he's looking at Hayat, and his eyes flick over towards Farik and Nibla. His sword is in his hand. So what's this? You going to try and talk us down after all that?
Pretty much the gist of it. As he
Then
sort of
save-
just like holds up his shield.
We're not
Then
in
save your breath.
Nimbus. Relax. We're not here. We're not going to fight anyone. We're just going to take our leave.
And I already told you, I can't let you do that. Not yet, anyway.
All right then. I propose a compromise then. We won't leave, but we're not going to be held captive. We need to know what the hell Alice is trying to do. So, while you're having your conversation with Alice, we're just going to very kindly and very discreetly listen in on it. And once you get your decision, she's told you her part in this, if she tells you her part in this, we then take it from there.
Roll a persuasion for me.
Would you give me advantage with my class training, even though it was from intimidation?
No, this will just be regular persuasion.
Can Prudith help him for that advantage?
I'll say you can give him, I'll say yes, but Traylon has to be the one to roll.
That's fair. And I think we both have like the same score in like persuasion anyway, so that's fine.
Charisma is a dump stat.
Four.
Oh,
Alright,
Not for
so
me.
4.
Oof.
So, by the way, are you guys still invisible, or have you dispelled it?
I mean, I can't dispel it.
Alright. Hyatt will just basically just leer his eyes towards the source of the noise and just go, I want to trust you. I really do, but how do I know you're not going to do that?
Our mission is her. But like I said, our priority is figuring out what the hell she's trying to accomplish.
Look, we're not even the ones trying to hurt her. We're going after her because she publicly attacked us with a wide-scale assault and general necromancy abuse. Can I make a persuasion check?
And can I give it advantage with help? As Traylon says, ultimately, I get the feeling that she's not the one at the top of on top of this totem pole. We have bigger fish to fry.
I'll say this will be... Fuck. I will say this will be a normal roll for now.
Okay.
Just because he has gotten the impression with you, Nimbus, that you have completely forsaken your friendship with him, and he's kind of come to peace with that.
That's fair.
As much as he doesn't like that. But with that 18, you do see him sort of scrunch his face. And he goes, And why can I trust you? I know how you feel now. You don't have to hide how you feel anymore. I hoped you wouldn't feel that way, but I know doing what I did would probably ruin something that we had.
I'm... For the interest of being honest with you, Hayat, I won't lie to you. I'm very disappointed. In fact, I would even go as far as to say hurt. But that doesn't mean I'm going to lash out and hurt another person. Especially if they're innocent.
At this
Let
point, the
me-
invisibility would wear off.
Yeah. Let me ask Jesse something real quick.
Okay.
I feel as though my trust in you has been broken, and it is for that very reason that I want to be completely transparent with you.
Sorry, hold on.
Take your time.
Well, I'm just we're doing DM deliberation.
Yeah, I get that. No worries.
Meanwhile, Traylon is mapping out how many ball bearings he's going to have to toss out before he can run upstairs. Oh, wait, I still have a stink bomb.
Sure do.
Oh man.
I actually thought you were out of those.
Alright, so... what was the last thing you asked? Or what was the last thing you said, Nimbus?
The last thing I said was, he asked me how I can trust him, and then I said I feel hurt, and that our trust has been broken, but that's why I want to be honest with him.
Hyatt sort of looks to the side and just sighs. And he says, "So you promise? You promise you'll stay to your word and you won't do anything."
I swear I will look him directly in the eye, sheath a sword, and I will step forward. I swear by my oath, for honesty, for compassion, for fairness. But you have to promise that you will be honest with me, Hayat.
Of course, other than everything that just happened, I have been nothing but honest with you. And I promised, Crudez, that I gave you an explanation, and I did. And as he says that, Farik lifts his crossbow and goes, "And I, for one, have had enough with you playing with the poor master's emotions."
Brutus just kind of cocks his eyebrow at him, just like, really, dude? You're gonna get in the way with this right now, really?
I understand that the current head of the house is the gentler type. But that is why I'm here, to make sure that the hard decisions can be made. The Master has already made it clear that he is willing to make international crimes to protect the ones that he cares about. And if he's not going to be the one to do it, then I will. Farik, please. We don't need this.
I knew it. I knew
You
he
should
wasn't
listen to
keeping
him.
it.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Trudeau just kind of shakes his head. It's just like, I knew it. I knew he wasn't keeping that damn vow just because he wanted to.
Both men sort of just blink and he goes, "What? What are you talking about?"
It takes a moment to just kind of get his words because, well, this is kind of important. Uh-oh. Stream's offline.
We still got VOD.
Yeah, that's fine. But just...
I can still hear you, so my connection's
Yeah.
not gone.
Right. Knock on
Alright,
wood.
well, anyway.
Alright, it should
go
be back
ahead,
up.
Will.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Just... Why not let... I almost said Hamid, Jesus. Well, I don't know. Why not let Hayat make his own decisions? I mean, he's the guy in charge.
I have
Right.
let him be in charge for my entire life. I've been a steward of this house for as long as I can remember. His father was cold and calculating. I learned everything from him. And while I am just as fiercely loyal to his son as I was to his father, make no mistake, I was the first one to protest the oath. I let him get away with it because I knew that he had a knack for business just like him, and he would probably talk his way out of such things, but apparently he couldn't just flatter his way out of this situation that he caused. So as far as I'm concerned, if he can't talk you down, if he is put in a position where he has to break his oath to protect the ones where he loves, then he needn't break his oath while I'm around. He has no sword, but I will be it for him.
Yeah, but problem with that is that's still his call to make, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Hyatt nods and he goes, "He's right. You say you're fiercely loyal to me, Hyatt. Or, you say you're fiercely loyal to me, Farik. But can you please tone down the bloodlust just for once?" And he is going to do a persuasion check of his own. Versus insight. So, real quick, when it's persuasion checks between mutual characters, is it just persuasion versus insight?
I would say... I would say that this is two conflicting, like, debate. So it would be persuasion versus persuasion.
Oh, okay. In that case... Whew, alright. So... Farik remains silent for a long moment. And he just glares over to Hayat. And he says, "I have been loyal to you ever since I was born. But I guess you have forgotten something. You forget that I was trained to be a killer. And I need Crudez to tell me what his AC is."
18, this son of a bitch is gonna hit me.
Well, I haven't rolled yet, so let's find
well,
out.
no, I mean just in general, he's going to make the attempt.
Let's see here.
Let's see if his luck
Um,
continues as he rolls a 2.
God.
Soft 20.
Ah, fun.
So, Curtis, you get shot, but you take 0 damage. As... One second. That is reduced to 0. You would have taken 10, but that's reduced to 0. As... It's weird. You see the crossbow bolt hit your like side, like where your kidney is, and then almost immediately it's like your body is like rubber and it rejects the crossbow bolts as you take 0 damage.
Fuck.
Farik, no! As you see him sort of like shove him out of the way. As Farik immediately starts running up towards the stairs to get in a position. I'm going to roll something for Nibla. High or low?
Hi.
Me? Or who? High or low?
Everybody, just high or low.
Hi.
I'd say high.
High.
Alright.
If I go
As
high.
he runs up the staircase over here to basically take a sniper position, so to speak, Nibla, who for the past few minutes you guys have been debating with each other, looks really torn, and then you just see her grit her teeth and clench her fist as she, just as sorrowfully, runs up the other staircase. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Ah, lovely.
Oh boy.
For reference, basically in the, hold on, sorry. I got
Thanks.
notification. Oh.
Hey, why
Yes.
can't I click my own token?
But yeah, for reference, Fark rolled a natural 19 versus a 7.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Nimbus rolled a natural 20, actually.
Sure did.
Alright. Where is my turn order button? Delete that. So that's a natural 20. 6, 9. Also, this is from Eternal Poison.
Ooh. Jesus, Jesse.
Sorry, it's like
I've never heard
ethnicity.
this song before until a few hours ago. So this is kind of cool. What color do you want? Shit. I hate I have to keep asking this. Oh wait, hold on. It's the gear. I will make... Shit, how do I add the logo? Or, like, the color?
It's the little thing looks like a camera lens.
Camera lens. Oh! There you go. I'll make Hyatt red, I'll make Fark blue, and I'll make Nibla yellow. Alright. So, now... Woof! Alright, so, right here. Lagurma versus Lagurma versus Fark's Dex. Fark handily wins that. and then Nibla here. Yeah, this song is kind of kick-ass, not gonna lie.
Kinda doesn't even begin to cut it.
Nick,
Alright, dual decks, so roll off. 7 for Nibla, and a 6 for Lysander. Nibla will go out. So, there we go. Alright, so... Nimbus with that natural 20. It is your turn.
Okay, I'm immediately going to chase up to Farik.
Fate line
How
agility.
far? Yep. How far away is he?
Hold on 1 second. I'll get the ruler for you. By the way, we doing all right?
Yep.
85 feet. Yep.
Okay.
Hmm?
All right. 85 feet according to that.
Jesus, this place is huge.
Yeah.
Awfully. So it's funny. I always planned on there being this encounter here, but it was just so convenient that Gray drew this for me without even me doing the twist.
I mean, it certainly makes it easier to visualize, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith. I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Crudes.
Oh, dude,
Alright.
thanks.
Whoa.
That'll be my turn. I still am not good at range.
That's fair.
All right. So, and that's the end of your turn.
Yep.
All right. It is Hyatt's turn. Oh boy. Let's see here. Let's see here. High or low?
He's your boyfriend,
Every-
Chris, so...
Don't call him that. He's dead to me.
Oh.
Low.
All right, low. Okay. All right, low it is. So Hyatt sees this whole scuffle start to unfold, and immediate pants is like, "No, wait, stop! I don't want any of you to fight!" And he sort of like quickly scours around to like figure out a way to make everybody stop fighting.
Do I have time to reply?
Free action.
I will not idly sit back as he defies you, cutting off your own arm, and he sets his sights on my friends.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Oh no, that's perception.
Persuasion 9.
Jesus.
He hears the tone in your voice, and he freaks out as he is going to cast... Shit, there's no title here. But, he is going to cast Autoluke's Resilient Sphere on you, Nimbus. Roll a dex save.
The fuck? I've never heard of this spell.
Probably
Well-
a cautious thing.
18, you barely pass. So, you hear Hyatt who goes, "No, wait, please!" And you see him raise his free arm, because he has no sword with him, as, for a brief moment, you see a shimmering sphere sort of, like, start to encase you, but as you're sort of, like, quick-witted and whatnot, you sort of, like... As you're quick-witted enough, you immediately climb the edge of the bubble as it starts to form. As you climb out from the top and roll off to the side, as a celestial-looking bubble was looking to encase you. For reference, if you had failed this roll, you would be basically trapped in a bubble where nothing can hurt you, and you can't hurt anybody else.
Yeah, not into that right now.
So it's the absolutely safe capsule from Mother 3.
Sure. And that will be his turn. It is Nibla's turn. Okay, what to do here? Hmm.
There we go.
Sadly, with how obscure Eternal Poison is, it's kind of hard to find extended versions of anything.
That's fair. You still with us, Gray?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just checking because the
Let's see
stream is
here.
kind of but
It's all good on my end.
might just be me then. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Another high or low?
Okay.
Let's go low, I guess.
High. Nibla is going to take advantage of the situation of you basically being behind. Basically, you being behind her from the other side of the staircase, as she is going to take a gunshot at you. 13 doesn't hit, and an 18. Does that hit?
Does that hit Traylon? His AC is 16, so if he's the target, then yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, who was like Nibla aiming at? Because I
Nimbus.
feel like
Oh
yeah, I
no.
was gonna say because all you said for that entire explanation was him.
Oh.
I have an
well,
AC of
okay.
21.
Alright, then yeah, both shots miss. As once again, Hyatt just sort of just shouts, it's like, no, please stop! And that will be her turn as she goes ahead and basically takes a position around the corner for cover. And it will be Lysander's turn. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Where is Lysander? There he is. He is going to, let's see here. Alright. He is... Hold on a sec. I never gave him a long rest. Let me fix that. Alright, there we go. I don't know why that happened, but anyway. He is going to... Over here. God, this song fucking rules, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's Liquorama. Fuck. Lysander gets to over here, and he will Slayer's Prey Hamid, or Hyatt. But he can't get far enough, so that will be the end of his turn. It is Farik's turn. He is going to use his insightful fighting against you, Nimbus, since you are the one that basically charged right at him.
Because he shot my friend.
Well, yeah, and now you're right up there. So, let's see here. Roll a deception.
Okay.
Oh, because you're like he's using.
He is an
insightful
Inquisitor
fighting.
rogue.
All right.
Alright,
Oh, no.
that's a
He's right
fail,
through you.
so... Yeah, so Farik is going to shoot at you with the crossbow. 26 hits.
Yes, it does.
Oof. Alright, and because he passed his insightful fighting, this will be with sneak attack bonus. That is 22 points of piercing damage.
What the fuck? Okay.
Rogues.
Yeah. But that is reduced to 0 damage. As once again, just like with Kruta's, you watch as the crossbow bolt sort of like pierces you and then immediately sort of like spits it back out, almost like you're rubber. As Hyatt will use a legendary action, which I did not name, but he... I will basically call it unwavering pacifism. He can use his Aura of the Guardian feature an infinite amount of times.
But he still takes
As
all
he
that
will-
damage.
Yep.
Oh, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely sticking with my plan.
Alright, so... Oh shit, I zoomed in. Yeah, as... Once again, he will follow suit with Nibla to sort of, like, run up the staircase.
Oh my god.
Closer up the staircase. And that will be that. Lagurma is next. She, will turn into a bear. Second.
I don't have enough movement speed for this shit. The one time I don't play a monk.
I'm so sorry. Okay. I keep saying this, but like high or low?
High.
High, okay. And high she shall go, because apparently, as a bear, there is a climbing speed of 30 feet. So, Lagurma is actually going to scale the wall and cut Nibla off as she stands over here. And let's see here. She is going to cast... Yeah, I know. She is going to cast...
Wait, she can cast as a animal?
Yeah. Yeah. Circle of Moon.
Oh.
I believe so, anyway. Combat, combat wild shape, yeah. She can use it as a bonus action.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
at a certain degree, they're able to use spells while they're wild shaped. If they get high
Yeah.
enough in Moon.
Yep. I believe she's level 7. I'm pretty sure you could just cast spells as an animal anyway.
No.
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 Really?
That would make druids way too overpowered. That's like late game stuff. I think that's like level
Definitely not
20
at
of
this
druids.
level.
Alright, well, in that case, she is going to stand her position, and she is going to make an intimidation check with advantage against Nibla. That's advantage. Oh my god, double nat ones.
Oh
She's a
god.
giant teddy bear.
Rawr.
Bro.
She just limp wrists for some reason.
God.
But she will hold her position there. Krudez, it is your turn.
She's about as into this as Crudez is.
Meow.
Yeah, he's
She just
gonna
meows instead of bear noises.
run up to around there. At least try to put himself between Hyatt and Lysander, just like, dude, what are you doing? And then he looks right at Farek and casts Wind Wall around him and just shouts, "That's enough! He said no fighting!"
Alright, let's see here. Strength saving throw or take... strength saving throw or take half damage.
I
Okay.
would also like to point out, John, he cast it around Farek. He didn't cast it through him.
Oh,
he
so
just-
you're... Okay.
So he cannot make a strength save throw against this because I'm not hurting him.
Okay.
But at the same time, if Farek tries to shoot outside of it, any arrows that he tries to shoot out will just harmlessly deflect upward and miss.
What about exiting the wind?
It works the same way as like any other wall spell. If he tries to move through it, he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so yeah. Crudez, you just sort of like slam your staff in the ground and all of a sudden a giant updraft sort of like forms itself around Farik, keeping him in place for the time being. Is this wall like translucent? Like you can see through it?
It's wind.
Let's see. It's wind, so
So yeah, you just see Farik over there in like ripple vision. As if like he would be like underwater almost because of how fast the winds are going.
right. And he just kind of, with the last of, like, as he's casting Wind Wall, he just, you know what? Let's go with it. Crudez doesn't roll intimidation all that often. He just glares at him and says, "Don't move."
18. Okay. You will find out at his next turn.
All right.
Traylon, it is your turn. Nimbus, you're on deck.
Alright. Traylon, seeing as things are kind of spiraling out of control, is going to give out a very quick commands. One to Lagrima, saying, Focus on the yak. Lysander, don't hurt him. Heal him. And he's going to go up to here. Come on. He is going to go to the base of the stairs, and is intimidation as a action or a bonus action or a free action?
I'll say the intimidation can be a free action.
All right, he's going to shout out to Nibala and shout, "Knock it off! You can't hurt us without hurting your boss. So stand down." And I'm going to use my advantage in intimidation.
All right.
That I learned from my training.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, yay! I can finally do this now. So, in a brief moment, you remember going around with your investigation on the glitter bomb letter, and you basically channel Bruin Sturdicog, the former sheriff of Iron Dome, basically verbally laying it into poor Gobar of just laying it into poor Gobar, this giant, baby fatted human barbarian who is basically brought to tears despite being like 3 times his size, as you basically channel irate, irrational Bruin.
Come on, roll 20.
10.
Being a
You're
fighter-
basically like, where is he? Without realizing.
Oh no.
All right.
It's actually probably too late for me to bring this up now, but I noticed, thanks to Gray reminding me, basically, Crudez apparently does have a one-time advantage to charisma-based stuff. It's too late to put that into effect, is it?
Yeah, you have to declare yourself
That's
using
fair.
it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, you will find out on her turn. Nimbus, you're up.
Oh, well, I still have an action, don't I?
Oh, well, okay, yeah. Use your action however you wish.
Okay. Traylon is going to, after, giving it out that order, he's going to go over here, and would he be able to throw something over here?
What's the range of the thing you're trying to throw?
A bag of ball bearings.
Uh, I'll say yeah. You're basically doing like an overhead shot, and even though you're tiny or you're small sized, you can make it land on here and just have it land flat, like
You're gonna
right.
power glove it.
Yeah, like you're trying to make it land here, right?
Yeah, if anything, I'm trying to like turn this staircase into difficult terrain.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so Traylon just kind of shot puts this bag of ball bearings up there.
All right, you successfully do it as so you're intending for like the balls to sort of just like roll down the staircase.
Pretty much. If Farik tries to move any further up the staircase, he's going to have to roll that, what was it? A dexterity saving throw every 5 feet, or be, like, hit prone. DC is 13.
All right, well done. That was your regular action. Is there a bonus action you'd like to do?
I don't really have anything for a bonus action, so Traylon is going to, he is going to...
You haven't moved. Oh yeah, you did
Yeah, I have
move.
moved.
Never mind.
Several times.
I think I actually still have, like... 15... Nah, I'm out of movement speed.
All right, Nimbus, it is your turn. Farik is now encased in a wall of wind made by Kurdes to basically circle him and enclose him in.
Hmm. Okay. Is there a way for me to get behind the ensuing turbulence?
I'm gonna say to do that, you would basically have to, like, stand on the ledge right here and then jump to the railing on the other side. I would say that would probably be an acrobatics check.
Okay, I'll try and do that.
Alright, so you watch as Nimbus runs up the steps halfway and then leaps off to the side, leaps off to the top of the rail as he attempts to jump over to the other side.
That's an 8.
Oh no.
Let's see here. I'm going to say... 1 second. One sec here. I'm gonna say that is a 15-foot drop, so you only take 1d6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Which you take 3, but it is reduced to 0.
God damn it. Alright, I'm staying down here. Screw what I was gonna do.
Alright. It is Hyatt's turn. Let's see here. Oh, that's only a sorcerer thing. Alright. Seeing as... Yeah?
I was just gonna say only Hayat would be able to do something like that.
I will say, given that... Here... Let me please have my ruler out. Fifth. Okay. Alright, so seeing as Hayat recognizes that you're basically... that Kurdes is encasing Farik, basically encasing Farik so that he won't go anywhere, he is going to continue to try and pacify most of you, as he is... Where did Hayachi go? Okay. He is going to cast... What's this? Alright, he is going to cast... Well, he's going to break his concentration on the sphere as it sort of, like, shatters into light particles, as he is going to cast Hypnotic Pattern in a cube that doesn't clip Crudez, so it'll only hit Traylon and Lysander.
Okay.
Lysander will automatically pass because, I believe... Or actually, no,
Immune
this
to
isn't a
charm.
sleep effect. This is...
It's a
Yeah,
charm.
So yeah, he's immune to this, but Traylon, you go ahead and roll a wisdom save.
I have advantage because of my gnomish cunning.
Alright.
Still only a +1 to wisdom. 12, I'm out.
Alright, so... Where... Okay. Alright, so, you watch, for a brief moment as Hyatt sort of, like, twists his wrist, in the middle of sort of, like, having his shield up, as sort of, like, he basically, like, conjures a sort of pinkish-purple colored sort of cube, and he tosses it basically behind you guys. And as it explodes, it sort of like explodes in these mystifying colors. And Traylon, as soon as it like washes over your head, you feel like light and not wheezy or like you're about to puke, but sort of like you feel wobbly and like calmed to a debilitating level. You are basically like stunned in the sense of like you are standing still and you don't really have the energy nor want to sort of just like move out of this, as you are incapacitated and you have a speed of 0.
Yep.
Oof.
Alright, it is Nibla's turn. As you say, you know, it's like, you're gonna hurt your boss, you know, if you keep fighting. Don't fight. Glitter bomb. Despite that, though, she... By the way, you passed, but, I'm just trying to think. What will she do? She is going to run down the stairs, and she is going to basically turn the corner and crouch down. She is kind of in the same place as Hyatt, where she is just done with this whole situation and she just wants this whole nightmare to end. It is Farik's turn. I believe it's... yeah. Wait. I did an oopsie. Farik was... oh, no, wait. Farik's still all the way down there. Okay. Lysander. Let's see. You didn't really roll a persuasion check for Lysander, but I will say that he will take your advice, and seeing as though Hyatt had basically, like, just threw that bomb that sort of just made you stunned, he is going to quickly kneel down and give you a slap in the face to basically wake you up.
Ah, bitch! Ah! Thanks.
He is... let's see here. He is going to dismiss his Slayer's Prey, and he is going to cast Cure Wounds at first level on Hyatt. Well, if he didn't have a Wisdom modifier, this would be max, but still, that's 8 healing. Alright. Now it's Farik's turn. So, currently, he is... So, currently he's basically like encased in the wind. If he attempts to come out, he will take the damage that you pinged for.
Oh, I didn't actually ping yet, but if you
Well,
want me to now, I
3d8 bludgeoning,
Yeah.
basically.
Shit, I don't actually
I will
have
say, because I will say you rolled an intimidation, 18.
Yeah.
He
Would've been
rolled
enough.
a
Let me determine.
contesting. What is it? It's a contesting charisma, basically, right?
It's contesting. Usually it's wisdom.
Yeah, well, I did wisdom with that in mind, and he rolled a 16, but with his insanely high wisdom bonus, he does not get intimidated. But because he did not see, you throw out the ball bearings, he is going to continue to circle his way up the stairs. So he is going to take the 3d8, but first strength saving throw.
That'll be a 15 for the spell DC.
15.
Let's see.
That is a 9, so that will be 3d8. So go ahead and roll that.
He just looks over at Hyatt like, sorry, dude. I was hoping that would keep him in place.
Alright, so he takes 9 damage, reduced to 0. And
I get that whole thing.
he is... Well, first I'm going to roll perception real quick. That's a...
Uh-oh.
So apologies for the audio that you are hearing right now, but unfortunately there is an internet outage due to Gray's current situation. We are unfortunately cutting the fight short, but there is an ending to this, a planned ending, so I will go ahead and do that. So, to set the scene, the fight goes on for about 45 or more seconds, through various different ways. Farik gets his shots in, which allows Hyatt to absorb that damage. And I will say it is about half health on Hyatt's end until all of you collectively hear a shrill female voice just shriek out, "Enough! Enough!" As from out of one of the doors, you see a very familiar woman. She's dressed in all black, matching the local area, in a very sort of gothic style of dress, despite it being obviously Middle Eastern. But there you see, coming out of one of the doors, is a weeping, emotionally wrecked Alice Penderson. As she steps outside of her room, she walks over to the edge of the balcony to see you all. And yes, Jesse, switch songs.
Link me that song later.
You see her basically with her teeth gritting. She is shaking wrists, looking at you all with such contempt. And she goes, You sons of bitches. It wasn't enough to take away my boyfriend. You were gonna let Hyatt die too. Well, fine. If you're just gonna keep killing my friends to get me, then fine. I'll let myself go with you. You sons of bitches. Fuck you! As she just sort of like, kind of collapses to one knee as she sort of just weeps incessantly. Do any of you do anything?
Traylon will bring out some manacles that he keeps on him.
I'm going to say everybody gets about halfway up the stairs to reach her, and then all of a sudden... Go ahead, Jesse. Everything stops. Your whole body stops. Everything. Like the passage of time itself. And yet, despite this, you're able to move your eyes. Including Alice. She can move her eyes as well. Everyone's sort of moving their eyes, wondering what's going on. And then eventually, out of the door, where she came out, you see a tall, tiger stripes, Lannan woman drag herself out of the room, clutching her chest. You can see her face straining incessantly, as if she's having a heart attack, as she's just forcing herself to get to where Alice is. You watch as she approaches, she basically gets in front of her, and she pulls out something out of her pocket. She pulls out a piece of paper that she unfurls and just shows it to Alice and nobody but Alice. She basically shows it right in front of her. And normally I would ask you to roll perception checks, but for the sake of our situation, I will just say you watch as Alice reads this paper and then her eyes go incessantly wide in shock and in horror. She then puts that piece of paper back in her pocket as she then looks towards all of you, still clutching your chest, still panting and heaving as if she has just run a marathon. As she pulls another piece of paper out of her pocket. She basically points to it, as well as every one of you, and tosses it down the balcony. And as soon as this piece of paper touches the ground, time resumes, and she collapses backwards into Alice's embrace as Alice thundersteps backwards back into the hallway. You attempt to go chase after her, but her room is locked. And again, just for the purposes of narration, we'll skip the rolling. But essentially, she had locked the room behind her, and so you do whatever it takes to unlock it. We'll leave the details for later. Go ahead and change music, Jesse. By the time you open the door, there is nobody in there except another teleportation circle, freshly drawn.
Son of a bitch.
Over at the windowsill, you notice that it's open. And when you go down to check, you see the end of a grappling hook on the edge of the window, with a rope going down to the first floor, which leads to a camel with writing equipment on it. You get the impression that whoever this woman was climbed up from this floor and then did whatever she just did.
Well, let's put that woman in handcuffs.
What?
the other woman who was left behind. We're gonna question her.
They're both gone. There's nobody here.
Damn it!
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Hyatt's side and put a hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna lay on hands all the damage that he absorbed.
He immediately gets on the ground flat and sort of just puts his hands behind his back, knowing that the fighting is done, and he is ready to accept the punishment of whatever the Academy has for him.
I'm gonna lift him up, and then while I do so, I'm gonna lay on hands. And then I'll... Go ahead.
But why? I can do it myself. You don't have to waste your energy on me anymore.
Nimbus inhales deeply, looks down, pats him on the shoulder, and walks away.
Farik, knowing that the fighting is over, also willingly submits himself, though the whole time he's been stone-faced about it. Nibla is the one who's been crying the most about this whole situation, but she also willingly surrenders. Would anybody like to look at that piece of paper that was tossed over the mountain?
Trillian would like to.
Alright. Finally letting this out. Would you like me to narrate this, or would another one of my players like to say this letter out loud?
I mean, it'll have to be someone else other than me.
Chris, Will, you want to read it?
Do you want to read it, Will?
No. I feel like Crudes would be too distracted right now.
Hope that didn't come in on my mic.
Well, then what about you, Chris?
I'll read it.
Alright, go ahead.
Greetings, students of Academy Futurae. By the time you read this letter, either Alice Penderson is in your custody due to my failure, or Alice Penderson heeded my warning and got us both out of the villa. Either way, I will be currently in a coma for many days afterwards. Name is Neria, the Moment Keeper.
Of Moment Keeper.
Neria of Moment Keeper. Like Hayat, I am friend to Alice Penderson's, but I am fully aware of the crimes she committed against you and the Academy as a whole. However, I had a vision, an ill omen. The Moment Watchers are a tribe of diviners, and I have caught a glimpse of the future. I had seen your visit to Hyatt's villa and the fight you all had, and Alice turning herself in to spare Hyatt's pain. And while I don't fully understand why, it turns out that a future with Alice Penderson in prison or killed could very well spell doom against the unknown threat you are all training to defend against. Therefore, I have made the tough decision to interfere with Academy business and take Alice away from here. If I am successful, I must make one thing clear. Do not come looking for the Moment Watchers tribe. It won't work. Instead, we shall come to you in time, offering an invitation to our home. I wish to speak with you all in the future when I awake from my coma, and as a promise, you shall have Alice Penderson at the end of this all. We will speak to each other again soon. May Kronos bless every one of your seconds, my friends. That's the end of the note.
Well, shit. It's not ideal, but we have some lead.
And with this note, this brand new note, this random instance of time manipulation, getting both her and Alice Penderson out of the villa, and maybe out of Kasharin altogether, you are left alone with both Hyatt, Farik, and Nibla willingly surrendering themselves to your custody. And that's where we're gonna end it.
what you decide to do with them is up to you, but for all intents and purposes, we are done with this arc.
Do we level up?
Yep.
Hooray!
I was not prepared. Oh, God.
Yeah, sorry, John, that my internet crapped out.
I am so sorry about the lead up to all this, but I hope that what ended up happening at the end was compelling enough, because I had been stressing over this for like months.
Yeah, it was great. I'm glad we got to enjoy it.
I definitely liked it. I feel like Crudas is just gonna be like worse for wear, the poor boy. Just like he's currently of the mind of like, why do we need to do anything with them at all? It's like he works at Fark and he's like, him I can understand, but Hyatt, he didn't even want to fight.
He ended up having to take responsibility for his subordinates' actions, physically.
So I will say this out loud because this is a DM thing, and looking back, I'm kind of sad I didn't get to do this, but, Crudez, this is in character anyway. I'll bullshit this out as a last minute thing. So, obviously, you sort of, like, handcuff, you know, all three of you together, and while Fark isn't resisting, Hyatt, if anything, is crying more for him than anything, and Crudez, you hear Hyatt basically say, why couldn't you just listen to me? Why couldn't you just let me spare you? And Crudez, you recognize this as the vision you got.
Oh, that has many implications.
Yeah, this was supposed to happen in combat, but now I had to bullshit my way into it.
Alright.
What happens?
So out of character, that could have been addressed to anybody. Basically, the way the fight was supposed to work is so basically there are two ways for the fight to end. Either A, it goes too long, or Hyatt loses enough HP that Alice can't stand it anymore, or one of you falls, and he would immediately, like, rush up to them and, like, try to cure them and, you know, keep them from dying. Nimbus in particular, if you fell, the fight would immediately end.
So that just makes me feel like if I had done what I was thinking, this is the thing I was not taking all that seriously, mind you, but just in the back of my head I was thinking, rub salt in Hyatt's wounds for a second, cast feign death. That would just be freaking cruel for him, but at the same time, would you have had a plan for that? Or would the fight have just ended right there?
Obviously, I would have to, like, roll some kind of insight check for Hyatt, but if he failed, that'd probably be a way for me to end the fight.
One of those secret ways to end the fight early.
Yeah.
Secret ways to...
I was stressing about this because it's like, okay, this is not supposed to be a regular fight. This is supposed to be like an angst spectacle.
Right.
And so it's like, what are all the Easter egg alternative ways I could to end this?
Right. And
I mean, I had a net to catch Farrak next round.
I was also gonna. The reason I wanted to try and get behind him was if he tried to run away through the wind and like try and take a shot anymore, I was gonna try and grapple him so he would stop shooting at people.
Ow! Sorry, I hit my knee on something. But when you DC'd Gray, we were trying to ask you what fucking roll would it be to, like, would it be like a dex roll to run over the ball bearings?
It's a deck.
Or would
Yeah, for every 5 square feet, it's a deck save of 13.
Okay. So, yeah.
He probably would have been fine, but still, there's that one in a million chance he would have slipped and fall down the stairs.
Yeah, and for the record, I do want to say that on Crudeth's future turns, he probably would have just, like, given up on fighting. He probably would have dispelled the wind wall and just spent his turns trying to keep Hyatt healed.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy the fight. I
know.
very much enjoy the concept of it.
I got way too ambitious. Story-wise, I knew it would hit to an extent, despite me being super nervous. It was just like, how do I make this a compelling fight? And I don't think I succeeded on that, but I'm just glad I got the story beats across and it's finally over.
You definitely did. You succeeded. I'll say that much.
Yeah, you definitely did. It's literally just, we had to stop so much, and again, that had nothing to do with it. It's just like, that's probably why it's seeming like it didn't hit as well as it could have. It's just the fact that we had to keep stopping so much.
Yeah.
But again, that's
Speaking of
not-
which, I'm gonna stop the recording. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been recording the whole time?
Well, yeah, I told him to, remember?
Well, well, no, I know that, but I mean, like, I thought you had, like, asked Gray to, like, cut the recording, like, around the time that we had cut off.
No, I never said anything. But regardless, next week, I get to pass the baton back to Jesse, as he will now take over.
Woo.
Jesse.
Hi.
All right.
With that, sorry for the circumstances, but we can't wait to see you again in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.